So today I wanted to talk about value, knowing your worth, and knowing who you are, and why it's so important. Why is valuing yourself and knowing your worth so important? It is so important. It is so important because otherwise people will give you less. People will give you less. People will give you crumbs if you don't understand your value and know your worth. People will give you the change, the pennies. They will give you nothing, okay? Sometimes people do know your worth and do understand your value and still want to give you less. So, why I say it's so important to know your value and know your worth is because if you don't know your value and know your worth, then you will get anything on the table. Oh, they'll just give you breadcrumbs. And it's really important that when you know your value and know your worth, you stick by it as well. Because sometimes we can make decisions in the moment. I've done it, I recently went for a job and it was less than what I'm on. And then I realised in the interview, actually, this is probably, I'm pretty, when they say, oh, you're overqualified. I was overqualified. I was overqualified for the position. But not just because of, what am I looking for? Not because of my job experience. I think it was, a lot about my life experiences as well, because I'd only been doing that sort of job for, a few months. So really, but I realised in the interview, this is probably overqualified for this position. Although it was something that I really, really, really wanted to do, although you can accept something on the basis that you really want something, but it might not be the right decision. This is why understanding your value and knowing your worth is so important. Because otherwise, you'll just get given anything. And this goes for life as well. I think it's just an important message for life. It's an important message for, friendships, relationships, everywhere. Knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing what you bring to the table, knowing what you want in return, knowing what you want and sticking by it as well. Like, life's a journey, man. And knowing your worth and knowing your value is a journey. Like, it's an everyday thing. Like, I didn't realise when I went to my interview, I didn't realise that I was probably overqualified for the position. I just thought, I know these things. It's what I'm good at. Yes, I'm 35. I've got loads of life experience. But I realised, I got clarification. Ding. Okay. Like, you should be going for more. So, and it's not a discredit to, because sometimes I do think, I was questioning myself, I was thinking, sometimes I do think you do have to take not take a step back, but the meaning of sometimes you have to go back in order to go forward. So there was a method, there was strategy in my thinking in terms of sometimes you got to take a little step back to go forward. But no. The answer was no. Knowing your value, knowing your worth, and acting accordingly. And if knowing your value and knowing your worth is this, then do this. Yeah? Do the boosh. Knowing your value, knowing your worth is so important because the outside world will try and tell you different. Say something different. And you've got to be a tough cookie. You've got to stay strong. You've got to know who you are. Stand strong in knowing who you are, because that is where the strength lies. And everything will start to come and reflect back to you who you know you are in just the right timing. Anyway, gotta go get some petrol. Gotta go get some food. Ooh.